This week in basketball with your main man, Easy Leezy, in the place to be, and I'm back with another obscure basketball team based off a completely random character trait. And boy, was this one interesting to put together. And actually kind of fun, because as I was doing the all three name team, I began to notice another type of name that was actually fairly consistent. And just like with the three name team, this was very tough to meld. Probably harder because the names were a bit more obscure, if you will. But you know what though? As I figured it all out, I was actually happy with the result. And I think you will be too. So let's drive and kick it. Now, before I give you the team, I'm going to switch it up a bit. I'm going to give you the coach of the team, and let's see if you can figure out what type of team this is by the coach. And the coach of this team is AC Green. Have you figured it out? Yes? No? It's the all initial team. What is the all initial team, you ask? Well, it's a team consisting of players who go by just initials. That is literally the only rule. Simple and obvious, right? Basically, you have to be referred to by your initials or two letters. With that being said, let's get right into it with the first player. Serviceable power forward for the Mavs, P.J. Washington. Now, I don't know too much about his game, but he was on my fantasy team and he gave me good numbers across the board. Couple threes, some boards, 15 to 20 points, depending on the game. He does what you need him to do. Nothing crazy, and what more can you really ask for? Next up, Raptors swing wing, RJ Barrett. While not the best defender, he can give you decent production on the offensive side of the floor. Boards, points, assists, nothing splashy, but to have a solid player like him at the wing, and probably your primary or secondary scorer, you're not in bad shape at all. And with that kind of versatility at that size, it's a blessing. Now, I've given you all forwards up to this point, and it doesn't stop now, with perhaps the most versatile player on the team. And that's who RJ Barrett was traded for, 6'7" guard forward for the Knicks, OG Anunoby. Just seeing his impact on an already stacked Knicks team tells you how much value he brings to a basketball team, mainly on the defensive side. He can give you some effective offense, good decision making, and durability, and you can't go wrong with that. Next, finally I'll give you a guard, veteran journeyman CJ McCollum. Originally drafted by the Blazers and recently traded to the Wizards, known for his excellent shooting and defense, CJ has had an up and down career, often injured, spending most of his 11 seasons on significant IR. He's one of those guys that, if not consistently injured, could float between all-star and high-caliber number 2. But for this team, he would have to carry the primary load offensively. Up next, one of the most fearless, underappreciated white ballers in the league, TJ McConnell. He's got that 24-hour fitness game where he doesn't possess any outright bag, no spectacular blow-you-away skills, handling the ball, or scoring. But if this last final series is any indication, the boy can find ways to play defense and score. For this team, you need an Energizer Bunny who just puts in the right kind of work, and that's TJ. He's the prototypical effective role player. And what more do you need out of him? These next two, I just kind of threw in because, like I said, it was actually really hard to find just players with initials, let alone players that actually produce somewhat for their teams. But these next two are serviceable enough, and the first is Bucks shooting guard AJ Green. He gets a fair amount of playing time, but doesn't get a lot of fanfare because of the stacked roster that the Bucks had already had. But from what I've seen or from what I've looked up online on YouTube, the guy can hold his own. He carries the next man up game-ready mentality with great shooting and underrated defense. And for a team like this, I think you need someone of his caliber. And the other guy is big man for the Memphis Grizzlies, G.G. Jackson. Now, the reason I put G.G. Jackson in here is because I want to say 2 seasons ago, he had about a stretch of games where he just went bananas. And you can see that he has a lot of game in him. He's a competitor and he plays the game the right way. Now, obviously the Memphis Grizzlies had a really good roster that was devastated by injuries, so it gave him a lot of playing time and he took advantage of it. I like his game. I like this game so much I'm pretty sure I picked him up off the waiver wire from my fantasy team for a couple of games. So there's a lot of potential there. I just hope he gets more of an opportunity to showcase his talents and see how far he can go. But we'll see. I gotta say, this was the toughest one by far, and I think the way this roster came together, this is probably the weakest roster or weakest team so far. This collected group of guys can definitely ball with the best of them, but probably their lack of defense, their lack of size, and their lack of shooting is probably going to hold them back against higher caliber teams like the all 3-name team or the all Jalen team. If there was ever a situation where they thought to put together obscure all-star teams, I don't know, but that'll do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Hit the helpers and pad the stats. Otherwise, this is easy leasy with This Week in Basketball. See ya.